Good evening, friends. Paul here. I'm going to show you my revised Marseille tarot deck by Pierre, Madenie, 1709, Dijon, France. First, check this out. I'm resting my tripod tonight on this medical science compendium. It's a med school book from 1861 from my great-great-grandparents or something along those lines. This is a pretty cool book. Let me just give you a quick flip through because if you're into tarot cards, you probably think this is pretty cool too. This is a really awesome book. Yep, you got it. This is how it was done back in the day. Some of these pictures are pretty graphic, and we're keeping this a family-friendly site here. But yeah, 1861. Medical school book. So here's the wrapping paper. I printed this out on mulberry paper, and it's Pierre Madenie. He is buried proche de la cimetière Notre Dame, buried near the cemetery in Notre Dame, Dijon, from Dijon, France, quartier ordinaire de Monseigneur le Duc, Governor de la Province de Bourgogne. He's the card maker for the Duke, the Governor of Burgundy, France. So that's pretty awesome. Now, my first prototype, you can see my previous video how I did this deck here, which is my first prototype, hand cut on the self-healing cutting board back here. The backs are originally monochrome like this, but I like the kind of Grimaud, the Heron Grimaud card style or color. That was my first prototype. So these just came back to me recently from a pro print shop outside of Chicago. And they're pretty good. It's a thinner cardstock. The varnishing came out very nice. They're very slippery. You can even hear, should do like an ASMR. They're very slippery. As a matter of fact, before the video, I spilled them all over my floor just trying to pick them up. But that should make shuffling them pretty nice. So yeah, let's just do a walkthrough here, and I'll show you. This is a pro printed deck, not hand cut like this one. You'll notice my colors, how I toned everything down and kept it more like earth tones. And I changed the colors completely from the garish red, yellow, and blue. Those of you who are into tarot, Marseille Tarot, I hope you like this tour. The Priestess, La Papasse, kind of fun. I kept L'Impératrice, the Empress, with kind of the, I didn't really stray much from some of these that I felt like with more of a power play colors with the Emperor and the Empress. I kind of kept things traditional, although I did tone down the yellows a lot, and I've toned down all the reds, matching La Papasse, or the Priestess, with the purple robes. Very churchy. Pink. Got those nice pink hues for the lovers. I love how that turned out. A lot of fun. I made her blue. La Justice. You know, like a police officer, law enforcement, this kind of business. I had a lot of fun with the dark cards, the nighttime cards. I put in dark backgrounds and kept the lantern illuminating the darkness. A lot of fun. Love the way that turned out. Again, some of these like power play cards I kept pretty traditional. This guy's upside down. Earth tones on the trees. Like how that came out too. I really like the earth tones I've gotten through in here. The unnamed came out pretty nicely. La Morte to some. You'll notice I kept, this is my favorite card, Temperance. La Temperance. And I didn't really want to mess with her. She's just such a great card, including the coloration. I really wasn't going to mess with it. If I felt like it didn't need messing with, I didn't mess with it. I like the bat wings. Looks a lot more like a bat. Those darker colors. I was going after a fire element with the lightning here. It's like a fire feeling with all the orange going on. With La Maison Dieu, or the tower. Again, nighttime. See, I've got the stars and the moon. That kind of mysterious purple shadow world business. I like how those came out too. The sun. I went orange with the sun. I turned the red into orange, and I like how this came out as well. Now, this was a card I was struggling with a lot of making a decision. My prototype was in green, you see here on the rays of the sun, and I decided to go with blue for my professional print job. And you can tell me in the comments section which one you prefer. I think they're both decent, but I went with the blue, and I'm not disappointed with it. And Le Monde, with that purple scarf. Turned out pretty well. I better cook through these. The sun's going down and I'm just using natural light. And the suits, I had a lot of fun deciding what vibe and theme I wanted to go with as far as colors with the suits. The clubs are a very organic, earthy, naturalistic suit. And I went green with a lot of these. You can see here. So green is the predominant color, and I kept the light yellow coloration, almost like a light floral yellow, kind of like a lemon chiffon kind of color. Kind of go through here, these. You can see the colors on all those, then the pips. Really like how the face cards came out on the clubs here. Very earthy. That's what I was going with, the earth tones. The valet, or the page, the cavalier, the knight. She's one of my favorite cards, the queen of clubs, La Reine de Baston, with her green. I mean, I think she's great how that turned out. Just so fitting. And we've got the king. Moving into the swords, the ethereal, mindly swords. I wanted to go with kind of a steel color, like that slate, blue-gray, gunmetal kind of steel color. I like how these came out. So I kept that theme going through here, right on through. All the pips. And with the yellow highlights there, accents. Le valet, or the page, again with the blue coloration. Knight, queen, king. The coins, I struggled with the coins a little bit, trying to dial in the colors and the Canva app I was using. The gold and blue, that was where I was going with this. I toned down the yellows. I kept them more of a red gold color while maintaining the darker blue coloration. I had some variation there, but that's a really cool card. The kind of title card, the Pierre Madenie Cartier du Prince, the Prince of Burgundy, like we mentioned, 1709. That card came out very nice. So you can see some of these here, moving through. I would have liked to, if I were going to do these again, I would edit the backgrounds a little bit. They got a little red on me. You know, you don't really know how the color is going to come out exactly when you're going with a professional printer, especially if they're not in your hometown. Like I ordered these from halfway across the country. And on the proofs, the digital proofs, they're never going to look like exactly like what you're going to look at when the print comes through. And that's something I've really learned. This is a first for me, and man, I learned a lot through this process. The power cards, the coins, money and power, right, friends? And lastly, I didn't really mess with the cups much. The cups representing emotion and love and passion and all those wonderful things. I didn't really mess with it. Like I was mentioning in the major arcana that I was showing in the beginning, if I didn't really feel like it didn't need messing with, I didn't mess with it too much, but I toned down all the yellows in this deck, as you've noticed, and creating more of a bronzy look on the chalices and toning down the bright garish reds into more of a burgundy color. And they came out pretty nicely too. I'm pretty happy with the colors on these. And that sun really is going down, so this is a good time to wind down on this video. Came out pretty nicely. Yeah, thanks for coming along on this tour. Please post your comments below about this deck, whether you might be interested in this deck, or picking one up for yourself. You know, it's kind of expensive doing it, a short run. I only printed out like 9 or 10 decks, I guess. And I will sell a few of them, but to cover my costs and shipping and all that, I'll be charging $50. And that will include US shipping. If you're really interested, post a comment below, and we'll figure out a way to get in touch. But fun project. They feel real nice. And come back soon, friends. Subscribe here, because I'm going to be getting into tarot readings with this Marseille deck, exclusively Marseille. That's all I'm interested in with the tarot. To me, the tarot is the Marseille deck, nothing else.